Hey, and thanks for tuning in to OUTOFSCOPE. On this episode, I talked to my good friend Travis Moore from SAS Global Travel and Rincon Surf School down in Puerto Rico, and he talked to me about how he took his passion of skiing, snowboarding, and surfing and turned it into a global business.
Sports marketing expert Brian Cristiano.
Brian Cristiano.
Marketers and advertisers and brands always have to keep in mind, you have to play to the state of your audience. Sports fans are arguably the most passionate people probably on the face of this planet. If you're not passionate, do something else. All right. Episode 41 on a couch. It's red, it's bold colors, I like it. I don't know how I feel about doing a show on a couch, but we're going to try it for this episode. Maybe we'll see what happens in the next one. But today I was lucky enough to tap into a really good longtime friend of mine, Travis, who owns SAS Global Travel as well as Rincon Surf School down in Puerto Rico. And he is legitimately the most passionate guy I've ever met in my entire life. And over the last 12 years, I've watched him take something that was just a passion, snowboarding and surfing, and turn it into a global company. They're doing really well. And you know, he just acquired Rincon Surf School 4 years ago. So they're really taking this action sports, travel, tourism thing to the next level. And I hope that you guys get something out of it. He talks about how he took his passion from this interest of his and something that excited him and wanted to do with his friends to go down to Argentina to snowboard for 365 days a year when it wasn't snowing up here in the US, and he turned that into a business, scaled it, grew it, acquired another business, another passion his, which is surfing. And it's really an amazing story. And he also kind of gives some of his tips on people that are looking to either grow a business or start a business or scale a business, a few tips and insights and things that he's learned over the last 12 years that have helped him to do so. And I think some of it's kind of unique. And if nothing else, I think you're really going to enjoy Travis's passion. I know I do. He's just an awesome dude. So I hope you enjoy this episode. And just a heads up, we were Skyping over internet and he's in Puerto Rico. So there's some sections of the show where, you know, the video gets a little bit messed up or the audio does. So just bear with us. We're going to edit it as best we can. But I think that the content of itself is worth sitting through some of the little garbled sections. So stay tuned and check it out. Longtime friend, I've known you for a while now. I've been lucky enough to travel down with you to Argentina. I like the shirt. You are the CEO of SAS Global Travel and Rincon Surf School, and happy to chat with you and have you on, man. It's probably been too long. Should have brought you on sooner.
Thanks, Brian. It's been way too long. I really don't know what's happened. I think it's been about 3 or 4 years now, Brian, since I've got to see you, because you're just as busy, if not busier, but kudos to you.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been good, and it seems like you've been doing quite a lot. I would say, before we kind of jump into it, for people that might be watching or listening that don't know who you are and what SAS Global Travel and Rincon Surf School is, give them the elevator pitch. Who are you, and what are your two businesses?
All right. Well, that's a great question. SAS Global Travel, that was a segue from the original company, Brian, called SAS, South America Snow Sessions. And we kind of learned early on that it was really cool to be in the snow and having this great program in Argentina. And I learned real quick that we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves with one program, one focus year-round. So we looked at the model, and I looked at it really hard, and I really wanted to do more in snow as well as get into surf where I came from, 20 years prior to this, and I really wanted to get back to the ocean, and I think it was going to be good for me. And I thought there was a lot of crossover between surf and snow. So SAS Global Travel turned into Surf and Snow Sessions Global Travel. And now we're the Mountain Wave. And when we're not in Japan, we're riding waves and teaching people how to surf and doing the whole experience here in Puerto Rico.
That's awesome. I'm getting a little bit of chop, so we might start over, but everything sounded pretty good for the most part, cut out for a second there. But just to clarify, SAS Global Travel's what? How would you say, like an action sports travel company, ski and snowboard into Argentina during their winter, North America summer?
Well, we've been fortunate to rebrand and restructure the company to this global travel model. We are SAS Global Travel. We own and operate. We are an action sports adventure tour operator. We own and operate all of our trips. We're a lot different than everyone else. I really enjoy the fact that I know every single client, that we can create the best experiences with, while keeping consistency with staffing around the world. Our staff that goes to Argentina is similar staff that goes to Japan, and there's a similar staff that comes down and helps on projects in Puerto Rico here. It's really starting to come together, yeah, it's been wild for sure.
So, what's your obviously your background was surf and snowboard, but tell everybody, how did you go from that and turn that passion sport into a business? What was the transition from hey, just going down to Argentina for fun, and then how did you turn it into a business?
I started with in snow, to be honest, as far as coaching and running programs, and I was very passionate about learning through sport and recreation, and I went to school for that. And I was trying to figure out how we could make a living doing what we love to do. Everyone talks about it on the internet. And find your passion, find your job, be successful, and really enjoy what you do. It's like not going to work. And I tried multiple different career paths, and I wasn't happy. And then I realized, I said, I think I can do this. We started as a passion of snow. I wanted to find a training ground in the heart of summer, but also learn something. So we created this education backcountry snowboard and ski experience in Argentina. It started off as 9 clients, as South America snow sessions, as I said, and then it went and it evolved. And we started to look at this surf and snow model. I thought there was going to be a lot of crossover between surf and snow, and I learned through many years now, the last 6-7 years, that there isn't as much crossover, and we're seeing a lot of really new clients and new people getting involved in the surf and wanting to do more in the snow because of surf, and vice versa, the snow wanting to come to the surf, and they haven't done that. So it is really interesting. They're 2 different markets, but when I was training in snow and we started bringing people to Patagonia, Argentina, I then said, I really enjoy being on snow 290 days a year is what I was doing, which I don't know if a lot of people know what that feels like. It's a lot. And there is only 365 days in a year, and I was spending my majority of my year in winter. After exhausting my wife and myself, we decided that we were going to bring a beach component to it and go for it. I literally put my head down, didn't listen to anyone but what my belief and vision and true passion was. And it hasn't been easy, but I feel like, after 12 years in Argentina now, Brian, 12 years in Patagonia, 5 years in Japan, and 4 years in Puerto Rico, we're starting to really see the business be able to operate year-round, as well as keep more people involved at a higher level. And the other cool thing is we're expanding. We have new trips coming, and we're looking to add sled Chile in Chile in our South America, as a few other little ones we have up our sleeve. And I think we're at the beginning of this service-based experience travel business.
Oh, that's awesome. One thing that you talked about that I'm actually really curious is, because I would have had the same gut check reaction and thought as you, which was okay, you have this ski and snowboard excursion company, that there would be a lot of crossover between those clients and what you're bringing over to the surf side. But you said you found out that that's not necessarily the truth. Why do you think that are they really that very separate, and why?
I'm still trying to figure it out, Brian. I think it's becoming more popular, and I've been watching it the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, going to New York and going to the beach and watching all the surf programs, do really well. Scoot and Surf, they have 3 beaches, and it's amazing what they're doing with kids and families, and that's all translating to, what's next for us, and as far as the snow side goes, people are really hooked on snow. They're different brands. There are some crossover brands here that work in both surf and snow, but they're not as many as you think, and they keep it kind of separate, which I kind of enjoy because now we're able to reach a market that we didn't have before, which is this surf market, which you do bring people through our operations here that are very interested in snow. And I just booked someone today that went to Argentina, and they are coming to the Rincon Surf Resort here, so it is working. It's just not as much crossover as you would think. It's like, oh, everyone's doing it, right? You're skiing and snowboarding, you must be surfing.
Right.
You know, I'm not. It's not the case. A lot of people, this is new. You know, as far as, you know, the surf industry, I feel it's at its beginning. I mean, you know, where I'm from originally in New Hampshire, I went home this summer, and, you know, there's 550 people in the water. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So it's really cool.
So it's growing. Surfing's growing.
I feel like surfing's growing, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And obviously ski and snowboard have continued to grow over the last decade a lot.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, if we can get global warming under control and still find the snow, I think everyone will be, you know, enjoying it. We have, you know, we've been very fortunate. Our programs are sold out. So we were able to sell out Argentina. We were able to fill up Japan for 2016 already. And,
wow.
And that's really, you know, saying something about the industry, and that people are wanting to go on trips like this that are turnkey based.
So, you know, I was saying that 12 years ago you started SAS. You had about 9 clients, people that you probably knew through coaching or other walks of life. How was it that you were able to then, once you knew it was a business that could grow, how was it that you first started letting people outside of those initial 9 know about these trips to Argentina?
You know, it started guerrilla, and it started back in the day with working closely with you on some really cool campaigns and trying to really grow the brand without a budget. And so I did that through going around, and I went private coaching. I've been involved with a lot of high-level athletes at the Olympic level, and I traveled to all the national events that you see on the TVs and the DO tours and all that, right. And started to let people know that in the heart of summer, you can really enjoy summer, not necessarily have to go to the park in the North America glacier, and that you can actually have a great experience in South America with real snow conditions, real terrain, learn about backcountry and avalanche safety. And now our program that started off as a 9-client, doubled every year, 17, 34, so on and so forth, it's now turned into the biggest guided big mountain education program in all of South America. It's turned into a full-on, you know, we're doing split board classes, you know, all this new progressive things, and we're educating every single client whether they want it or not. And that's a new kind of idea, and it's been really successful.
Wow, that's awesome. And you're partnered up with some colleges, isn't that true?
It is true, yeah. We've been doing college credits now with Sierra Nevada College for many years. We are actually going to let them take a break this year, and we're looking at new options. Colorado Mountain College is very interested in working with us. We've been approached by, it's an interesting, you know, the whole education component with partnering with schools, but we've been able to do it, and we're looking forward to continue that kind of direction as well.
Awesome. How much of the SAS Global Travel growth do you think was word of mouth, people coming, having the experience and telling other people versus, you know, and obviously I know some of the marketing that you've done, but some of the guerrilla marketing versus just cold calling versus stuff you've done online. And I think one of the interesting parts, and you guys were ahead of the curve on this, was creating a lot of content, videos, photos, etc., driving people back to your site to introduce them to SAS Global Travel. What do you think the balance of that was over the years?
You know, that's a really good question. I think in the beginning, Brian, you know, we started as guerrilla marketing, friend tell a friend. You know, we didn't have a big presence online. We were changing our URL too much, things like that. You know, and then when we rebranded in 2010 as SAS Global Travel, we really focused on not only our, person-to-person tour type marketing style and that guerrilla style with stickers and flyers and all that and doing all the shop and movie premieres, and we still do that. But what really changed our business, and I'll be straight up with you, is our online inquiry form, creating an opportunity for people to inquire about our programs. I can tell you, Brian, all of our inquiries now come from online. We get a lot of inquiries. We have people that do sales for us now here that basically call inquiries. So it's not a cold call. It's a very warm lead, if you will, and they're all filling out forms online to find out more information. It's done through our partners on the media side, with all the high-level brands out there with Trans World and Snowboarder and Snowboard Mag and Free Skier and all the brands in Europe. Everyone's picking up our content, so we haven't slowed down with our content creation. I learned all my stuff from you, remember that, and we're still building content. We're still pushing hard on the tour, and we're really happy that we're launching the new SAS Global Travel website here in the next month. So keep your eyes open for that. We just finished 2 new websites as well. So we did 3 websites in the last 6 months, which is a lot.
Wow. Well, it's really interesting because the whole new buzz in the marketing industry is inbound marketing, and that's what you guys have been really doing since 2010. Not necessarily tracking it with all these different tools and everything, but really putting out tons of content. And I can, for one, have seen a lot of it. And it's, you guys, especially when you're down in Argentina, are putting up multiple videos every single week that are just really cool and really badass. And, people see that and drives them back to the site. And like you said, you're capturing those leads. So now I think it's amazing.
And I think one of the things that's really changed our business, and this is helping your business, and I see it's changing yours as well. I follow you like everyone else should, is Instagram.
Right.
Instagram is one of our biggest lead gen networks out there. I mean, we're starting to really grow that side. It's high-level content. It's easy to look at. It doesn't take much time. And check out. We're going to hit 20,000 followers here. That's a big deal for us. And we're just little guys over here. But that application has been amazing for us.
Wow, because it's so image driven, and I assume, I don't know this, but I assume you guys put no marketing dollars behind that. That's just organic, like you putting out content. That's it, right?
Completely organic. We work with athletes, and they do a takeover of our account, and we do some really cool things. Where Trans World will post and things like that for us, and so it's all organic. It's all driven through content and people sharing and liking, and
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, cool. So I'll jump kind of forward in the story a little bit here, and you let me know. I didn't know this till we kind of jumped on the line here, but you're opening up. So you guys acquired Rincon Surf School, but now you're opening up in November, the Rincon Surf Resort. Tell me about that. What's the Rincon Surf Resort?
Well, that's been it's been on the back of my mind for since I moved here 4 years ago full time. We I'm the surf school online right now. We're on the hill, and I got tired of being the surf school on the hill, and I'm so passionate about working with the clients, creating a really cool experience here. And Puerto Rico is not always the easiest. You have to do a lot of guesswork and try to figure out where you're going when you come visit sometimes, and I don't want to make people feel that way. So I modeled it after our kind of a similar Argentina-Japan style program in snow, what we've learned over the last many years. And we just recently were able to do a management takeover of an amazing facility, formerly known as Las Palmas, is now going to be the new Rincon Surf Resort, home of the Rincon Surf School. We're 400 yards off the beach, super private, very, very quiet, very nice, and it's going to have full concierge service, all activities, bio bays, waterfall tours, including all the surfing that you're going to do with us. It's going to be a very special program for us, I feel, and we're very excited for November. RinconSurfResort.com is live.
That's awesome, man. Well, congrats. That's a huge move for you guys. And one of the things that you mentioned to me before we kind of jumped on Skype here was that no one is really doing that in Puerto Rico. Is nobody really doing what, putting a surf package, school, resort together? Are you guys the only people doing this?
I'm the only one that I know of, and this is a very small community here. There are a bunch of great surf schools down here, but I don't know anyone that's truly packaging the full experience here. I know there's not anyone yet, and I feel like it's very needed here. People want to come, they want to buy a package and get a level of service, and that's what we're going to provide.
And why do you think that no one has done this before? And what made you guys think that, hey, this is an opportunity that no one's taking advantage of?
I'm not sure why it hasn't happened in Puerto Rico yet. I know that it's very popular in other Central America countries, and it's a thing to do. There's a bunch of surf resorts popping up all over the place. I don't know why it's taken long. I just think that no one's put the time, energy, and work, and it is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of fun, but hopefully we're at the forefront again of something special.
That's awesome. And I mean, this kind of comes back to everything like what you did with SAS and now the Rincon Surf Resort, is being one of the first movers into an area that no one is doing something. How important do you think that is to look at an opportunity where nothing exists and take advantage of that instead of trying to do something that everyone's doing something totally a different direction? And I know that you always think very differently than other people. How important do you think that is for starting a business?
I think it's very important. I think that you need to look at the market, make sure there's a need for it. One of the interesting examples was deciding to move to Rincon. I knew that people wanted to come here, and that's how I started. I knew that people wanted to come surf here, and it was known for surf. So I knew that was really successful. Where I had operated in the Dominican Republic in the early years, and it's more known for kiteboarding and less for surf, and it was a lot different for us, and we learned a lot from that. But as Japan, for instance, we were in Japan before anyone was there, and now everyone wants to go to Japan. I knew it was going to be the next, and now, we don't know how to keep enough beds for people, and all of the big pros have gone there last year, and everyone's putting it up on Instagram, and it's all over the internet now. Japan, Japan, Japan. We've been skiing in Japan for a bunch of years now. So, being ahead of it a little bit, I think being ready for the next is very important. That's how we're kind of planning what's going to happen next in our businesses and where we're missing. When I mentioned earlier SAS Chile, people want to go to Chile. I can't change that. We might as well offer one of the best experiences that we can, and totally different than anyone else, and something that someone hasn't done yet. So, it's been exciting. It's definitely, I'm a dreamer, and I put a lot of thought into this stuff. But it's about the passion, and it's about the energy, and it's about creating experiences for others and feeling good about it at the end of the day.
That's awesome, man. And how did you figure out that, like, how do you know that there's a need for, like, that people want to go to Chile and ski and snowboard? How did you know that people want to go to Argentina or Puerto Rico? Like, what is it, instinct? Do you do research? Like, how do you figure that out?
I think it's a lot of instinct, looking at the market, and I actually, to be honest with you, I looked how many flights were booked to Aguadilla in 2008 compared to now in 2015, and it's come up. Hundreds of thousands of guests have come now. It's starting to really grow, and I look at where the addition of JetBlue to Puerto Rico and some of the other things that are happening here, and how convenient, and you don't need a passport, and you can fly on a license, and all these things that people don't maybe know. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. And we can come and go as we please, and it's very convenient to drive here. The roads are fine. It's 3 hours away from New York. It's a 3-hour flight direct, whether you fly to San Juan or Aguadilla. And it's just really becoming a nice little spot, and we're making it better here. And I think it's instinct, luck, maybe a little bit of luck, you know. But we've definitely been so fortunate and so lucky, and we've put our head down, and I think really focusing on the customer is the most important thing. Is focusing on the level of service. Everyone that comes through our business is the #1 priority. And that's how we've become #1 on TripAdvisor. You know, we started dead last. You know, we came from the bottom up, and you know, it's through hard work, it's through commitment to your customer. And that's how we're going to continue to grow, and through word of mouth. And, you know, when you come to Argentina, you're going to go home, tell 20 people. When you come down next week with your wife to Puerto Rico to the Rincon Surf Resort, you're going to go home and tell all your friends when you're all tanned up and had a great time. So, you know, that's how we're going to continue to grow, and we want to grow that way. I want to grow by people telling everyone else that they just had an amazing time with SAS Global Travel, Rincon Surf School, Rincon Surf Resort, whatever it be. But if you're involved with us, we have a great team. I have an amazing group of people that work with us here, and you can't do it without them either. So kudos to them as well.
Yeah, as we wrap this conversation up, Travis, you know, for people who might be either starting a business or trying to scale a business that's smaller and kind of do what you've done over the last 12 years, what would be your top 3 tips for people in that position to either start a business or to scale a business?
I think, you know, that's a tough question, Brian, but and I think about this all the time, and I think about, you know, where I came from, and you know, the bottom line is make sure it's the business that you want to do. Make sure it's something that you really know that this is something that you want to do potentially for a long time. Okay? Number 2, stop talking about it and now do it. And number 3, don't give up. You know, if you know, take advice and listen to people and things like that. But it takes a long time to grow a business. Have a plan, have a financial plan to, you know, be able to handle it if it doesn't go well at first, because that's the hardest, to try to get it off the ground, the startup piece. But they have all these things now with Kickstarter and FundMe, and, you know, there's great ways to raise capital to start a business. So you're not in the position that I was in when I started and didn't have those resources. I've seen people come very successful. So one, you know, you get it. I'm excited for what we've been able to do, and I'm excited to help other people have the passion and the energy to do what it takes. I mean, you know best, Brian. You started with rollerblade videos, and now you are, you know, on top of the world and doing really well. And it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard work, you know?
It really is. Yeah, you and me both. I'm sure if I'm sure if both of us got $1,000 every time somebody said to move on, to give up, or to do something else, we'd be rich men.
That's right.
But we didn't listen to them.
That's right. And and now we get to live this lifestyle that we want to live, and you know, and feel okay about it. And that's the thing, is make sure it's a business that you really want to do, because I see people jump into businesses and they're not really sure, and it's okay for the business to change, and it's okay for it to evolve and things like that. But just really make sure you're passionate about it and you're ready to make a commitment, because it's easy to quit when you're not as committed.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, cool. Travis, I appreciate it, man. You're full of passion. Your businesses are full of passion. SAS Global Travel, Rincon Surf School, Rincon Surf Resort. I'll make sure to put the links in the show notes and all that good stuff. But, man, it's awesome to see you. I definitely got to come down to Puerto Rico. I really haven't been there yet, and I know I need to. Come hang out.
While we're on the Skype call, check your email. I just sent you a round-trip ticket. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Travis, awesome, man. Talk to you soon, man. Well, Travis Moore, everybody. That dude is awesome. He is one of the most passionate human beings I have ever met in my entire life. And I think if there's one thing that I've learned just in my life in general, it's that you need to surround yourself with the types of people that you either are or you want to be or want to become. And I'm a passionate person. Everything that I've done to this point has been built on passion. Bold has been built on passion. And Travis has done the same thing with his business, and he is just an awesome dude, and it's been amazing to watch what he's built over the last 12 years. And I'm going to be really excited to see what happens when he opens up the rest of the Rincon Surf School in November with his hotel and everything like that. And hopefully I will get to go and check it out. He was teasing me on the free tickets there, though, but I think he does want me to come down and check it out and visit. And I will be glad to do so. But the other thing that he let me know after we ended the Skype call was he's going to be in New York in a couple of weeks. So I don't know if it's going to happen, but we might try to meet up and follow up on some of the stuff we talked about. So if there was anything that really interested you or you wanted to ask Travis, please comment tweet, comment in the video section on YouTube and let us know. And if I do end up meeting up with Travis and we do a show, we'll follow up and I'll ask him whatever you want to know. Thank you so much. I just ask you to please subscribe to YouTube. I've had a lot of subscribers over the last couple of months. I know it took a couple of breaks getting married and all of that. So it'd really mean a lot to me if you subscribed and shared some of the videos. I want this to get out there, and we're going to really start pushing some of the content, bringing some really good and cool people on the show. So all of you who were early on subscribers and people that have believed in the show to this point, I thank you so much. So keep tuning in, and yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Out of Scope. On today,